I will start by saying it's really nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Everybody says what a nice guy you are, by the way. All the journalists, they talk.
Are they normal people? They're not heavily medicated?
No.
Okay.
Everybody says he's such a great guy. And so,
good.
we all know your character, and we know you from stage and screen. So,
well, good. I'm happy the word is good.
It's very good.
Okay.
How incredible is this story?
You answer that. I think it's pretty incredible. I think it's it's an unusual story that it manages to be very human and relatable at the same time. These characters are totally odd and delusional and inspiring. I don't know. It's a wonderful thing.
I had never heard of Florence.
I hadn't either.
That was my question.
No, I hadn't either. I felt like I did. It was a very familiar kind of thing, and something that I've always been fascinated by, that the Ed Wood sort of delusional, where there's something undeniably appealing despite the lack of talent or inability. You kind of, it's an infectious joy in this magnetic thing that she had.
I want to talk about your character. By the way, best name ever, Cosme.
Cosme McMoon.
It doesn't even sound real.
No, it's too cool. I know. Again, I had to look, after I read the script, I thought this has to be, how much is this embellished? And that was his name, and these people existed in this moment in time. It was kind of extraordinary.
Well, he's Florence's musical director, and kind of helps along with the story. I'm not giving anything away.
Yeah.
But what an unusual relationship. Can we talk about that for just a second?
Yeah. Well, it is sort of this odd little, almost like a romance. But I mean, it's a very unique dynamic. He's her accompanist, and he's landed his dream job to play piano alongside a singer, and he's making a living. And then she opens her mouth, and he almost passes out. It's the worst, most atrocious sound you've ever heard. And so he's walked into almost like a twilight zone, and he doesn't know who hears this voice. There's her husband. Why is everybody? How is she doing this? And there's this kind of almost like conspiracy of kindness going on around her to insulate her and make sure she doesn't know how awful she actually sounds. So it's a really unusual, fun, a fun story.
Interesting thing about Cosme, he's from San Antonio, Texas.
I know.
Isn't that crazy?
I know, yeah. And an unbelievably, I think he was born in Mexico, and he moved right to San Antonio, and then he moved right to New York when he was 18, and I think he fit in better probably over in New York. So yeah.
I was researching, getting ready to talk to you. I didn't know that you actually play piano, and you have for many, many years.
That is true. I played the piano in this movie, and Meryl sang, and we actually did all the music live. So you're watching us do it in real time, and I think that lends to some of the authentic, that sort of gobsmacked look that you see. It was all happening there. So.
You bring up Meryl Streep, and obviously Hugh Grant in this film as well. I've talked to Meryl a couple of times.
Oh, yeah.
I love her.
Oh, yeah.
But I was nervous when I met her. I was like, she's a legend.
Yeah.
What is it like to work alongside somebody like Meryl, and Hugh, for that matter?
It was nerve-wracking at first. I mean, except that they're both so disarming, and they sort of pop that tension immediately. So they humanize themselves, and the reason they're so fantastic is because of that. Because there's not really a whole lot of ego going into it. It's all about making this project the best it can be, and collaborating, and they made me look better, and I hopefully didn't make them look worse. But
your character, actually, one of the characters in this movie, are your facial expressions.
Yeah.
You really, honestly, in the screening that I was at, just your face and your reaction, people were, laughing in the theater.
Oh, that's good.
Did you practice for that, or?
No, I didn't look in the mirror more than I usually do, so that's like 4 hours a day. No, I really was just watching Meryl and playing, and between those two things, it took the attention kind of off myself a little bit, which is what you hope for when you're in a scene with someone. So she gives you quite a bit to react to. She's the best actor around. I think
you're on a little TV show that everybody loves. It's not little. I'm being sarcastic. Yeah. Big Bang Theory. How much fun are you having with that?
It's an extraordinary thing to be a part of for going on 10 years. So. Right. Yeah, we get to do this play basically every week in front of an audience, and then it goes onto the television. That's how it works, I hear. But I'm again working with great actors and writers. It makes it almost easy and fun too. And I know how rare it is.
When did you realize it was a hit?
Is it a hit?
It's a huge hit.
Okay. Well,
I mean, was there an aha moment when you said, I think we got something here? A lot of shows, every year we hear about we were on Fox, but I mean, cancellations, shows that come and then shows that go. You guys are, like you said, 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, when did you have that moment where you said, yeah, this is something, it's really connecting with the audience?
It was sort of a slow build, actually, but I mean, because it didn't come out of the gates. It just did well, did a little better then, did a little better the next season, and then it just kept until it was kind of an explosion. And I guess there was a moment when when I went to Canada. Whenever I traveled outside of the U.S., we first went to Mexico and then to Canada, and people were sort of running out of the restaurants that they were in to see us and talk to us. In LA, no one cares because everyone's more famous than I am. So that and it was around probably 3 or 4. The ratings just kind of went through the roof, and it didn't stop going up. So I don't know, but it was a slow build, and it's still hard to kind of wrap your head around it, but.